Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Frenchie Friday. Oh, what a night. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, Allison, Karen, Lily, Stella, Elaine. Good morning. Happy Frenchie Friday. Wind's picked up. You got to move your anchor at 11 o'clock at night. Fun stuff when you're living on a boat. But I have to say, I am so proud of Dave and I, the stuff that we do now. I mean, we could have just, we could be, well, Dave is already 50. I've got a couple months. Okay, come on, Lucy. We could just be sitting at home, missing our kids, I don't know, gardening. There's nothing wrong with gardening, right? But, instead we decide to sail around the world. Us crazy girls and boys, crazy people we are. So let's go into wild dreams today inside of Live You Fully. Welcome officially to Live You Fully with Tara Marino. We are here to allow ourselves to live fully. And as we've talked about, if you've been joining us since the beginning of this season to Live You Fully YouTube episode thing. That was very articulate, Tara. Very, very good. I love it. Then you know that the most important thing is for us to know what it means for us to live fully. What does that actually mean inside of us? And for us to continually ask ourselves again and again, what does it mean now? What does it mean now? Because we go through different life stages. And what fulfilled us at one point, what felt like exciting, what felt big, what felt new. And again, what can feel big and new is actually slowing down. It can be setting a different pace for your life, right? It's not always this increase of speed. Sometimes it's slowing down, and that can be the next version of living fully. And even through that phase, we get to evaluate and ask ourselves, well, I wonder what else? Like, what else would living fully mean to me? And one of the things, wild dreams, yes. One of the things that we begin to recognize really from the very beginning is in order for us to live fully, we have to let ourselves be visible to the truth of what it is we actually want. Because how many of us have talked ourselves into what living fully means based on what somebody else's idea is or was of us based on society's expectations? Oh, this is going to look good. Right, this looks like living fully. She's doing that. I should probably do that. I should vacation here. I should wear that. That's living fully. I should get my nails done. This whole nail trend, just by the way, I used to get my nails done in high school. And then this whole nail trend came back around and I tried it like twice. And I was like, yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. I like my little short nails. Like do a little French manicure underneath. It's me. It's just me. Does that mean I will never get them again? I don't know. But it's just not me. It's not my version of living fully. So today, playing with the wildest dreams, all the way down to the everyday of what does living fully mean to you. And I'd like to start with a little reflection inside of yourself, where you may be buying into somebody else's version of living fully. So in order to do this, in order to allow this in the easy, most beautiful way, we're going to go through the femme types, the indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker, which is the way with which we as women can remember our wholeness. It's not that they're responsible for our wholeness, but what I found in my life and what women inside of Elegant Femme can relate to like instantaneously is like, you know what? We are more than one thing. We are more than one thing. We have more than one expression. And if we are not living in the fullness of those expressions, if we are hiding behind one expression, if we've bought into the misunderstanding that this one side of us is safe, she's the good girl, she's the provider, she's the one who makes the money, whatever the identity is that you feel best in, you will hide behind that and use that as the kind of cloak of living fully. and just hide the other aspects of who we are. If you have ever felt like you had to compartmentalize your life, like, oh, I can be this part of me, but I can't be this part of me, and this part of me is acceptable, but I should hide this part of me, that's what's happening. And inside of Elegant Femme, the Indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker, these are these beautiful ways for us to say, whoa, wait a minute, am I expressing all of who I am in the world? Am I living fully through all of these aspects? Or am I caught in a faux type? Am I caught in a shadow? Am I caught in a diluted version of myself based on what society wants, based on what my husband wants, based on what my kids want, based on what I used to want? Because we get to change our minds. Do you know that? So I don't know. There was like a meme at one point. I don't know. It's not called a meme. I don't know what they're called on Instagram, where you're like, you know, everybody just says like the same thing. Like every girl once in her life should. Do you know what I mean? And then you see a trend going around, whatever those are called. And I think every girl once in her life should definitely like retire and then go back to work if she wants to. She should cut her hair short like a bob. Like, especially if she has big, gorgeous, beautiful, long hair. There's no shoulds, right? It's just the version of living fully for you. What that means, no limitation. Are you with me? Are you with me? I love that you're in a playful mood. Haha, love this so much. You always read my mind. I was thinking about being the engineer and the masseuse at the same time and loving it. Yes, this, right? And I love that you're playing. This is what Frenchie Friday mood is, right? We play, we say the thing. It's like, oh, did she really say that thing? Yes, she said the thing. I'm saying the thing. We're here together as women who are committed to living fully. Let's say the thing, right? Take off the mask, take off the blindfold, take off any kind of withholding, like say that is living fully. So let's move through Indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker in this way to really see where you may be unintentionally from living fully. Yes, we want to play? Okay, let us play. Circumstances are less than ideal. I gift myself permission to be, to remember who I am. Yes, this is the Indie. So if we're going to utilize this exercise this morning to unravel this a bit, to see where you may be unintentionally hiding these aspects from yourself, let's start with an Indie question for you. Where may you be, and you can close your eyes and just walk yourself through this in a little reflection. Where may you be inside of yourself, not allowing yourself to admit who you really are? Your being, the part of you, maybe you're holding back a truth, dimming your light, pretending that you're not as powerful as you really are, pretending you're not as sassy and funny as you really are. Where have you been diluting who you are so that you don't ruffle anyone's feathers, so you don't rock the boat? Where have you been tiptoeing in your life? Where have you been pulling it back? So we had a gorgeous conversation yesterday inside of Chateau Neuf. And one of the themes I see, I've seen it in my own life, and I see again and again for Elegant Femme clients who are committed to this, whatever that next level is when we step into our truth, we start to shine. Yes, it's just a natural thing. And it's not the, hey, look at me, I'm so special, look at everything I'm doing. It's a natural feeling inside of like, look, I don't care who's watching. I don't care if no one's watching. I don't care if everyone's watching. I am going to be who I am. And that is a very attractive energy. That is a very attractive frequency for people, for animals, for life, for money. Right? When you no longer need to be seen, and you're no longer hiding because you've chosen to see yourself, this is sexy. This is sexy. This is so sexy. And people start paying attention and opportunities start paying attention and you just start attracting. This is the Indie. The Indie is responsible for increasing our capacity to receive. But if we bought into the illusion with the Indie that it's not okay to be seen, that it's not okay to be who we are. This person's doing it this way. She's like this. He likes me when I'm like that. I don't really want people to think this about me, so I'm gonna, yes? So does everyone have something? Where, just even the recognition and awareness inside of yourself of where am I holding back who I am? So it could be a situation that you recognize. It could be at work. It could be with a specific person. It could be a way that you are. Like, wow, I've been holding back about how sexy I am, about how sensual I am, about how funny I am, about how rich I am, about how loving I am, and holding back my love for fear of being seen fully in that way. Right? So feel that with your indie. Feel the places, situations where you might have been doing that. Shall we move on to the Frenchie? I'm only going to move on. We're only going to do this if you're with me and you're here. Otherwise, we'll just say goodbye. So I'm waiting for comments. I'm just going to sip my coffee, have a little Frenchie moment myself, smile at my beautiful husband, and I'll wait for some comments. Make sure you can still hear me and that we're all here together. Although you all know me, and I would do this by myself for myself. All right. Yes? Shall we keep going? Shall we? I do need to make sure that you can still hear me because the internet has cut out 4 times yesterday. Okay, Frenchie, come on. Okay, I'm with you. Okay. All right. Did you feel anything there? Those of you that are here with me live, and if you're in the replay, like these for me on Frenchie Friday, it is fun that we have an interaction together in the chat because it's not just for me to talk to you. And I'm certainly not just talking at you. It's like, really, let's utilize these Frenchie Fridays to unravel more and more and more and live into our beautiful soul-led life. So something inside of your indie where you're like, ooh, I'm not allowing myself to be all of who I am. Yes? If you want to drop it in the chat and be extra courageous and bold and really unravel it and just claim it, like, oh, I recognized I wasn't that. I'm not allowing myself to be that. Or you can claim it as, I choose to be, I choose to remember I am that. Okay, you can do that. Yes, I found something. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. Frenchie. I mean, if this isn't, I was going to say if this isn't the easiest foe to, the easiest femme type to hide inside of a faux type, but it could be the New Yorker. So I don't know. But the Frenchie, for sure, is the first femme type that the majority of women put on the back burner. And it's like society in some ways promotes that and then doesn't. So it creates a really big internal conflict. What do I mean by that? So this idea that enjoying and pleasure is not okay, that it's not essential, that it's extra, that it's frivolous, that it makes you materialistic, that it makes you selfish. And on the other hand, seeing in society the conversation around, you need to be beautiful, you need to look this way, right? So there's this, can be this real big internal conflict, this push and pull, like, oh, I'm not supposed to want it. That makes me selfish. I don't want to be seen as materialistic or high maintenance or too much. And on the other end, buy this beauty product, look this way, do this thing. If you're beautiful, you'll be happy, right? This internal conflict. So the majority of women just go, I'm good, in their own way. Or they play the role of the Frenchie without even realizing it. Without even realizing it, they will do Frenchie tasks in a New Yorker mode. Gotta get my nails done. Faux New Yorker mode, really. Gotta get my nails done. Gotta get my hair done. Gotta get my Botox. And it's urgency around beauty instead of pleasure around beauty. This is something I'm seeing a lot right now with a lot of women who have been speaking about kind of feminine energy, that it's not really embodied feminine energy, it's forced feminine energy or faux New Yorker energy wrapped in a pretty bow. And I think we've all been there. Have you ever went to the spa and been like, oh my God, I got an appointment, right? This isn't real pleasure. So the Frenchie, pleasure as a priority, knowing that as we allow ourselves to enjoy, we open. We have this connection between the indie and the Frenchie. We increase our capacity to receive. We claim who it is we desire to be. And then we move into a space of joy with that. Not punishment, not sacrifice, not proving. The Frenchie comes before the New Yorker every time. Not justifying your pleasure, not justifying your desires, desiring for the sake of desire. So here's my question to you. Where have you been justifying your desires? Where have you been over-explaining yourself in pleasure? This is one big conversation that we had yesterday. And that, again, I've heard from women, well I'm going to fly to Paris to see you again. And I don't know what to say to my family. They're going to say, oh, must be nice for you. You have a really nice life. If you think that I haven't heard that millions of times, oh my gosh, Tara, it must be so nice to be you. You get to gallivant all over the world. And it's not said in like, it's said in like that kind of other way. And you know what I've learned over the years to say? You know what my response is? Yes, it is so nice to be me. I love the beautiful life that I've curated. No, nobody really says it to me anymore. But in the very beginning, I got that a lot from family and friends. Oh, it must be so nice to be you. And because inside the Frenchie, we're afraid to be seen as selfish or high maintenance or materialistic or this like silver spoon, gold spoon in your mouth that you haven't, if you're attached to, I have to earn my pleasure, I have to earn my desire, I have to earn my beauty, then you will over-explain. You will try to deserve it, and you hold back your Frenchie. So let's ask the Frenchie, where have you been holding back your joy, your pleasure? Where have you been denying it because you feel like it's too much? Where have you been holding that back? Where have you been afraid of someone saying about you or to you? Like, oh, must be so nice to be you. Like, oh, you have such an easy life. Oh, I wish I could just, whatever. And so you stop. You pull back your joy. You either don't share it, you hide it, or you just drop it all together. Okay? So connect with your Frenchie for a minute and see what comes up and let me know. Yeah, this is really, really powerful. My playfulness. Yes, yes. I'm so glad you bring it here, though, Stephanie. I'm not allowing myself to be beautiful. Oh, Allison, I've been wanting to say this to you. And I don't know how long ago it was. I think my sense of time is like, I have no idea, right? But it could have been about 3 weeks ago or so. Not really sure on that. Could have been 3 months ago. You showed up on my Instagram and I saw this gorgeous picture of you. And I felt this presence in that picture where you were allowing yourself to recognize your beauty. I just felt it. There was something in that I was like, there she is. Like I literally stopped in my tracks. I was like, ah, there she is. And I meant to text you in that moment, but I didn't. And so I'm telling you now, please let yourself be beautiful. Please let yourself see it. It is life-changing for people to witness other people's beauty, but more important than that, for you to witness yours. Let yourself be beautiful, Allison. Shine, babe. I do not hold back, but my pace is slower. When I catch myself holding back, such as love, for fear of hurt, I make a change for more love, but perhaps in a modified way. And always trust your inner knowing, right? For this, just witness that whenever we do hold back for fear of being hurt, we are holding that back from ourselves every time, whether it's fear, whether it's holding back in the indie, holding back in the Frenchie, or holding back in the New Yorker. The faux type that says, I'm going to limit this because I don't want to get hurt, doesn't recognize you're limiting it from yourself. That's actually how it works. We unintentionally, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Karen, exactly, but just for everyone here, when we hold back, when we say it's too much, if I let this in, whatever this is, and I'm going to be hurt, but we really desire it, right? There's no obligation to let something in. But when you're called for openness and you limit it because you're afraid of being hurt, you unintentionally create a mini barbed wire sensual circle. So we talk about this inside of Live You Fully. We talk about the sensual circle, which is how we create boundaries inside of Elegant Femme. And we talk very much in detail what an intact sensual circle looks like, what a frayed sensual circle looks like, and what a barbed wire sensual circle looks like. So if you have ever been on a ranch, which my parents have a ranch in New Mexico. I grew up there going there all the time. There's barbed wire around right where the cows can't leave, so the horses can't come in. So, all that kind of stuff. Barbed wire has a poke on either side. So you think you're keeping something out, but unintentionally, right? If you're keeping hurt out, but you're hurting yourself. So something to keep in mind when we, inside of our mind, say, I'm going to limit something for fear of getting hurt. And always follow your inner knowing, because, of course, there are certain situations where you know what's best. Allison, you're so beautiful in and out. I think you're so classy. Look at this. This is so nice, right? Like, Allison, if you hadn't shared that in the chat, right, Stephanie wouldn't have been able to gift that to you. This is so beautiful just to share here, so raw, right? Because it feels scary to live you fully sometimes, right? So just let this out. Let this come up and out. This is really, really beautiful. I've been holding back on love out of protection. Yeah. Yes. More fun, more beauty, more enjoyment, even while cooking delicious meals for family and friends. Yes. You're so welcome, Allison. Chic hotel. So Stella, what hotel? What hotel would you like to stay at? Where is this hotel? Where is it? Do you have it printed out on a piece of paper? Do you have a screenshot of it in your phone? Is there a hotel? Is the hotel close by? Can you go to the hotel bar? Can you sit in the cocktail lounge? Can you stroll around the gardens? Can you get a pass at the day spa? These are things that Dave and I did in the beginning and will still do. If there's something we desire, like this boat, for example, do you know how many boat shows Dave and I went to over the years? So many. Toured boats, printed them out, had them on our vision board, walked through them in our minds, like as close as we could get to the vision, not just because we needed to get close to the vision, but because we wanted to enjoy the vision. Now, chartering a boat, which made no logical sense, by the way. How many conversations I had with Dave when he's like, look, we're saving for a boat. I'm like, I know, but I want to go on a boat now. So can we charter a boat? It's like, that's expensive, Tara. We're talking $25,000 to charter a boat. Shouldn't we save that? And then in the end, we were like, no, we're going to experience the vision now. We did that for like 7 years or something. I don't know. And then it was like, okay, right? Can you allow that now? Can you stay? What version of staying in a chic hotel can you allow now? All right. Last one, New Yorker. Okay, New Yorker. Allowing the experience you desire, allowing the power, allowing the money, allowing the wealth, allowing yourself to be visible in the experience you are seeking, not hiding this aspect of yourself. The New Yorker, allowing, yes, she's not doing just to get stuff done. She allows aligned action. She allows you the clarity to move forward with the thing that will provide the most movement towards your vision, towards the experience you are seeking. This is the real New Yorker. She is so freaking powerful. And I have to tell you, I feel like this season of my life is me uncovering my real New Yorker in a way I never have before. Because we go through stages with the femme types. And they're all perfect. This next level of embodiment in our power and our visibility and our beauty, it continues to open, it continues to expand. Life begets life. Life will continue to call us forward into more. And what I've found is that the initial activation of all the femme types, very powerful. Then comes the next evolution, the next evolution, the next evolution. And one of them is unraveling the faux New Yorker to the extent that you trust your power again. So the question that I would ask you for your New Yorker is, where are you not trusting your power in your life? Where are you holding that back? Where are you holding yourself back from allowing yourself to experience the fullness of your power? Yes. For me, it's allowing wealth. Yeah. Yes. I've been blocking my enjoyment of the beach. These are all so powerful. Keep on sharing with me. I love this. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right. How are we feeling with this? So we moved through a little bit of Indie, Frenchie, New Yorker this morning. You have, at the end of our time together, perhaps, and let me know in the chat, had some realization for you about where it is you are holding yourself back from living fully. Before we complete today, and you can certainly do this in the comments, before we complete, I'm going to invite you to gift yourself the opportunity to choose one way, before we go on Frenchie Friday today, one way that you are going to choose to live you more fully. Not about what anybody else wants, right? You've just spent the last 25 minutes with me unraveling a bit of your indie, your Frenchie, your New Yorker, having some ahas and awarenesses as to where you may be holding back. So before we go, if you'd like to drop in the chat, because I'd love to hear it, I'd love to see it, I'd love to celebrate you, recognize you, and honor you. Again, whether you are here with me or you're watching the replay, because I do check all those messages. I see you all. I see you all having those conversations, and I love it. Okay, so what one thing are you going to allow yourself when it comes to living fully? What one thing are you choosing? It is in the presence of people that don't have much to spend. Okay, so holding yourself back from enjoying wealth or allowing wealth based on what other people have to spend or not to spend, if I'm understanding you correctly, Stella. So there's a quote, and I think Marianne Williamson is credited, and we'll go with that, where she says, you can't be poor enough to help the poor. And this is such a profound opening and recognition inside of us, because holding back because we are afraid we will outshine someone else is actually the ego inside of us buying into the illusion that we could actually outshine someone else. And we end up seeing that person as not intentionally, but unintentionally as not powerful. The real conversation that goes on underneath the surface is they're not powerful enough. So I'm going to dim my power so that I don't hurt their feelings. They're not wealthy enough. So, and I don't know that they can be. They're probably going to be hurt by my wealth. So I'm going to slow myself down. And again, from an extent, it makes this is where the faux types are so powerful. It makes logical sense. I want to protect that person. I don't want to hurt that person. But that's not really the truth of our existence. Us being in our full power is what inspires people. Us being in our full wealth is what inspires people. Now, of course, intentionality, right? We're not talking about shoving wealth in people's faces, or like obviously there's an energy behind what it is I'm saying, but it is worth looking at. Am I holding back my wealth for fear of what someone else will say? Am I holding back my wealth, my growth, my prosperity because I'm afraid someone else can't do it? So I'm going to hold back mine. I really, really look at that. Really important. Okay. I'm holding myself back from leading my signature public speaking program. Oh my gosh. Allison, go, 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 go. Okay. So these are so powerful. I'm going to read through them. And those of you who have been courageous enough to say where you're holding back, I would love to see you drop in the chat before we go what is shifting today, right here, right now, living fully. Us right here, right now, in the Bay of Turkey. I don't know if you can see, it's so beautiful. What's changing right here, right now? What are you claiming for yourself today that says, I choose to live fully? I look at what it is you're blocking and see if you can create space. Allowing wealth. I have been growth in knowledge and taking action and investing wisely. Yes, I was blocking my visibility with playing with limits of reality. More softness, more dancing, more breath in my stomach. Rest. I never sit still, I realized yesterday. This is a really big one. And when we start to allow rest, we actually recognize how much rest we have been denying ourselves. So that part of the beginning that can feel like, oh my gosh, will I ever be done resting, can come up inside. And yet, when you really do surrender to the rest and you stop utilizing, not just you, like any of us stop utilizing productivity as a point of value, and we start to reposition and see rest for what it is. One of the things we say inside of Elegant Femme is rest is an aligned action. And you start to recognize what actually comes through rest. And to deny rest is to deny support. To deny rest is to limit yourself in your own power and what you're capable of. Rest is not lazy. Rest is what opens us up to the next level. Without rest, we are in limitation. So something to consider. I'm writing the book, Katrina. I'm writing the book I want to read, and that's enough. Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes. So when people say you have a rich husband, I'd be like, yes, thank you. Yes, I chose wisely. Yes, I'm a woman who desires to be provided for, and I chose wisely. Right? I know my worth. I know my value. I know the truth of who I am in my feminine, and I desire to be taken care of. I have nothing to justify. And you might not choose to say that out loud to people, but you might require to say it inside of yourself. I think it's extraordinary to choose a rich husband. How profound, how beautiful, how gorgeous. Right? It's about you coming into alignment with you and your choices and not feeling like you need to justify a damn thing. Okay, so we good? Okay, happy Frenchie Friday. This has been beautiful, beautiful. And I shared with you yesterday, and it's minute stuff. What happens when you're launching something? We had some tech stuff late last night. Visibility doorway should be open soon. Looks like we're trying to reconnect. So I'm going to say bye here. Sending you all love. Look for the visibility doorway opening soon. Okay. What I wanted to say before we close is the visibility doorway is opening soon. I'm moving forward today. Okay. And get really clear on what that means for you. Like, how will you know you're moving forward? Right? This is the allowing of clarity inside the Real New Yorker. Like, I am moving forward today by blank, 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 and have it be one thing. Like, how will you know you moved forward today? There is a thing that is holding energy, and this happens for all of us, right? We know. Everyone's like, oh, how? Tell me how. You know what you need to do. You know what you're called to do. You know what is the most powerful thing that you could do to move yourself forward into your next level of vision. It's allowing yourself to do it. You don't really need clarity. You need permission first. And then the clarity comes with saying yes. That's it. It's so simple, but it's true. Yes? Okay. Visibility doorway is opening soon. We should have it out today. This is going to change the way you see yourself forever. It's just as simple as that. We're going there. We're going all the way into the New Yorker in Q4 inside of Elegant Femme. This last quarter of 2026 can be, if you allow it, the quarter that changes everything, especially with wealth and power. So keep your eyes out. I'll see you Monday.